yoga friends, I'm Sarah Mapes. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's practice is designed for the first trimester of pregnancy. Pregnancy is a time when there are so many changes happening in your body. You might feel morning sick or not. I was really morning sick. There were a couple of pregnancies where I could not keep down water. I'm so grateful that those babies are here. You might also feel really tired. You might have some pain or tenderness in your breasts or even your belly. These things are normal. It's also normal if you don't feel any of those things. The important thing to keep in mind is to pay attention to how your body's feeling. If you're tired, don't push, don't overdo. In yoga, our practice can be fairly normal during the first trimester of pregnancy, but don't do any jump throughs or sudden movements. Probably don't want to drop into any back bends. If you have been doing lots of yoga, you can probably continue doing the same kind of practice for the most part, listening to your body that you have been doing. Let's get started. We're going to start in virasana. I'm sitting on a block. Our hands are on our thighs. Let's begin by closing our eyes and connecting with our breath. In pregnancy, it's important as yogis that we don't ever hold our breath. Inhale for the same number, exhale for the same number. So if you're inhaling for 3 counts, exhale for 3 counts. Take this moment to connect with your body and your breath. Each breath is sacred and special, and right now it's connecting you and your baby. Open your eyes, take your arms overhead, take hold of your right wrist, stretch your arm out overhead, feeling a good stretch in your right side body. Bringing your hands back through center, take hold of your left wrist, pulling it over to the right, feeling a good stretch in your left side body. I'm going to take my strap and place it on my left shoulder. I'm actually going to turn sideways so that you can see, or maybe even face the back of the room here. Guess I didn't need to turn my block around. I just could have turned me around. So sitting in this pose with the strap on my left shoulder, I'm going to take my left arm up behind my back or walk it out my strap, depending on where you can reach and where you need things. And your right arm comes overhead. We're coming into cow face arms. So if you're holding onto your strap, you're going to see how close you can work your hands together holding onto your strap. If you can reach, you can clasp your hands together. That's great too. Sit up tall. Take a couple of breaths here. Releasing your hands, taking your strap around to the other side of your body. Our bodies can be different from one side to the next. So you might need a strap on one side where you don't on the other. Taking your right arm underneath, left arm comes up overhead. Walking down the strap, getting your hands as close together as possible, or clasping your hands together. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a few breaths here. Releasing your hands, setting your strap off to the side. The next thing we're going to do with our arms in hero pose is either to take hold of opposite elbows or to take our hands into namaste and move them up our backs. So for namaste up the back, your palms are going to come together. You'll work your hands up your back and then sit up nice and tall. If this hurts or is uncomfortable in any way, take hold of opposite elbows. Sit up tall, lift your chest, and breathe. Releasing your hands, coming off your block. I'm going to scooch my strap out of the way. Come onto all fours, coming into tabletop. So our hands are underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Let's do some cat-cow. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, curve your back. Start taking care of your back now in the early part of pregnancy. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, curve your back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, curve your back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, curve your back. From here, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come into our first downward facing dog of the practice. Your heels might be up, they might be down. Ground your palms firmly into your mat. Index fingers are out in front, fingers are spread wide. Feel this stretch all the way through your body. All the way up your legs, down your back, through your arms, down into your hands. And breathe. Step your feet to the outsides of your mat, coming into malasana. Taking your hands to heart center, pushing your knees out with your elbows, maybe rocking back and forth from side to side. Malasana every day, pregnant or not. And then come up to standing. I'm going to do a classic and slightly modified sun salute today. So standing at the front of your mat, inhale your arms up to the sky, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bring your right leg back into low lunge and take your arms to the sky. As you come forward, instead of coming into a full plank, bring your left leg back so that you're on your knees. So we're in a knee plank. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Push your way up into a baby cobra. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes under and come back into a downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Bring your right leg forward, dropping your left knee, coming into a low lunge. Lift your arms towards the sky. As you exhale, step your feet together, coming into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again on the other side. Inhaling your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your left leg back, coming into a low lunge with your arms lifting towards the sky. Bringing your hands down to the mat. Bring your right leg back so that your knee is on the mat, coming into a knee plank. Lower all the way onto your belly. Inhale up into a baby cobra. Exhale, come into your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. On your next inhale, bring your left leg forward, dropping your right knee, coming into a low lunge. Lift your arms towards the sky. And your exhale, frame your front foot, step your feet together, coming into half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. From here, step your feet out wide. Turn your right toes out. Bend your knee so that your knee is stacked over your ankle. Take your right arm to your right knee. Left arm comes out overhead. Look towards your left fingertips. Feeling a nice stretch. This is extended side angle. Coming back up through center, turning your right toes in and your left toes out. Bend your knee so that your knee is stacked over your foot. Left arm comes down to your left knee. Take your right arm up overhead. Take your gaze towards your right fingers. Coming back up through center, take your left toes in, right toes out, and come into side triangle pose. So reach out as far as you can towards the right, and then bring your hand down to your leg. Maybe it's your calf, maybe it's your foot. Wherever you are today is a good place to be. Take your left arm up to the sky, and your gaze along with it. Take a few breaths here. Bend your right knee, lift your arms, come up into warrior two. Take your gaze out over your right fingertips. Straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in and your left toes out. Reach out as far as you can and then come down into Trikonasana, side triangle pose. Take your right arm up towards the sky and take your gaze to look up towards your fingers. Bend your left knee. Bring your arms up, making sure that your knee is stacked over your ankle. Coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Look out over your left fingertips. Straightening your leg, turning your left toes in and your right toes out. Come into side angle. And then into side triangle. And then come back up through Warrior 2. And the next pose may feel really good to you, and it may not, and you may want to do it at a wall. We're going to come into half moon. So keeping your right leg bent, bring both hands down to your mat and push up for half moon. This might be a good place to use a block. And place your block down on your mat and place your hand down on it. You might want to even use a higher setting than normal. And opening your hip, lifting your left arm up towards the sky. And then with control, bring your left leg down. Come up, pick your block up. Turn your right toes in and your left toes out. I'll park my block over here on the side of me. I'm going to bend my left knee and come into extended side angle. Straighten my leg and make the shift into side triangle. Bend your left knee, come up through Warrior 2. And then frame your front foot, bending your front foot, pushing off, coming up into half moon. Maybe using a block, maybe leaning your whole backside against the wall right now. Might feel really, really good. And lift your right arm up towards the sky. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And then with control, bring your right leg back and come up. Okay. And bring your feet a little closer together, about the width of your mat, and come back down into malasana, our yogi squat. Hands to heart center, rock back and forth from side to side. And then using your hands, come to sit tall in tadasana, our sitting staff pose.
Okay.
Sit up tall in tadasana, shoulders down, blades coming together slightly. And then take your knees out to the side of you, about a foot apart, and twist gently away from them. Bring your legs around to the other side so that your knees are again about a foot apart, and gently twist away from your knees. And then coming down onto our backs, we're going to do a rolling bridge. So placing your feet, grounding them firmly down into your mat, hands to the sides of your body. This will be great for your lower back right now. Lift up into bridge, roll back down. Lift up into bridge, roll back down. Up to bridge, roll back down. Up to bridge, roll back down. Maybe windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. And then slowly make your way up to sitting. Our last pose is going to be a restorative reclining virasana. So at home you could use pillows if you don't have bolsters. I didn't have bolsters for a long time, so pillows were it. But I'm going to set them up. So one is going across and then the other is going up so that it's like a T for my back. I'm going to lean back onto my bolsters and bring my feet into virasana. Take your arms out to the sides, palms facing towards the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths here. Look inward. Think about this special time that you have with your baby, even if you don't feel very good. Feel the peace of this moment. And then slowly start to make your way up to a seated position. thinking I was sitting. What are you talking about? Sit up tall in a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. If you liked this practice, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope that your pregnancy goes really well and that you find joy with your baby. Bye.